Gaming Today presents Cash Considerations.
Welcome to the Cash Considerations podcast. Today is February 18th, and we are in studio with the boys. No guests today, so we're going to do our show. As we do, we got a lot of things to talk about. Let's welcome in the fellas. AB, what's up?
I just want to let everyone know that I hate all these guys except for Reynolds. just right off the bat.
I don't understand.
Coming in hot.
I don't understand
What the
what's
hell
happening.
just happened? That's Alan Berg, AB, hating on everybody.
Yeah, straight
How can
up.
anyone hate
Everyone.
you, Mo?
I don't understand what's
I
happening.
hate him most of all.
Nothing happened.
That's Mo
Nothing.
Pearson. I am Reynolds 2305 producing the show. He doesn't hate him.
Nah,
He hates me.
which is fair, I think. I think that's the only fair part of not hating Reynolds, and then the rest of it's kind of it's up in the air is what it is.
I am Dave Sherapin, and our Twitter handles are @%Berg for the hater, @Heed These Takes for Mo, @I am Reynolds 2305 for Reynolds, and I am at SportsBK Consig. The show is at GT Cash Consider. Boys, we're almost to 1,500 followers. Moving on up. Things are happening. People are listening to this thing all over the place.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, it's been really good. We appreciate the growth. Follow the show, share the show, rate the show, review the show. Things are happening. So let's keep it going. Even in this desolate sportsbook time of February. Oh, man. I got the rundown is real quick. We got XFL. We're going to discuss the NBA All-Star Game,
Yes.
what we saw,
Yeah.
and what we took away from it. And I have some predictions from our NBA preview show back on October 22nd with Cabby. If you haven't listened to that, go back and listen to it. It's awesome. But I want to mention AB went on a limb and gave us his top 8 in each conference. We'll take note of that. And Mo had a couple predictions as well.
I don't remember any of those.
I know, and
Damn
that's
it.
why I have
This
it
is gonna
all
be
down
brutal.
here.
Oh no, my NBA takes are terrible.
Are they?
That's
No, they
amazing.
can't be that
It's-
bad. They cannot be that
There's
bad.
a lot of good and bad with it. So
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yes.
there it is. That's all right.
I
we're
didn't know-
burning Atlanta
Oh, man.
to the ground.
That's fine. That's fine. I said I
This
was
is
gonna do that. on
I
the
know.
cast.
I know.
Yeah.
That's absolutely.
Magic was involved. I just don't know if it was good or bad.
Oh yeah, that was a 3 seed.
I can't
Yep.
tell if they're not yet. I mean,
Not
we'll
yet.
figure it out.
We're gonna get to the NCAA hoops. Called 5 good minutes with Mo,
Oh man.
and we'll try to keep it at that number. But we got a couple things planned for that. Then we're gonna get into boxing. Big fight week this week. Heavyweight fight in town.
Yeah.
We got fight guys over here between AB and Reynolds. We don't want to turn it into a fighting show.
Reynolds is not a boxing guy for the record.
I know, but
But-
he appreciates the art and
Yeah. I
understands.
don't know.
Maybe he doesn't appreciate it. I don't know, but
He knows it's a legit fight.
the mic is
That's
open.
what we do know.
If he wants to talk, he can. That's fine. But we had a great discussion last week, I thought, on the scoring a fight, and we weren't the only ones talking about it. We were the first ones, I think, to really talk about it and dive into it, which was pretty cool. Then we'll finish with the usual nonsense. I'll see where that goes at the end. But let's get to it. Carp was just in and basically summed it up for me. The XFL, nobody gives a shit. And it's really, I don't know, AB. I'm sorry. It's just not, the product isn't there yet.
Here's my question: What was the expectations of everyone?
I think
it's
they were
not
too high.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand
I
what
think they were
what
too high.
anybody thought this was gonna be. It's minor league football, so it's not gonna be like on the level
But
of an
they're not
NFL.
selling it like it's minor league football.
Really?
They can't. I don't think they are. I
I don't think they're
to,
trying to act like they're bigger than the NFL or anything like they were last time when they were
not bigger,
being,
but same
I don't know.
or close.
I think it's just we're just not going to talk about it kind of an angle to me, but
I don't know. I don't know. Did you watch the games, Mo?
I think I've watched every game up until the Battlehawks game. I kind of slept through. I didn't sleep through it. There's a lot of college basketball going on.
Yeah.
I get exhausted, man. I'm tired for most of the part, but no, I like the league. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I think I'm only forcing myself upon it because I wanted to love the AAF so much, and I gave up on that within like the first 6 minutes of the first game I watched. So it's kind of a personal vendetta that I'm doing right now. But I like the XFL. I think it's going to get better. That's what I think.
I have a couple notes. There's been no 300-yard passer yet in 8 games, and there's been more interceptions than touchdown passes. So quarterback play has never been more important in the NFL.
And you see why it's so hard to find quarterbacks in the NFL.
Right. There's a quarterback problem in the NFL.
I think that's actually a legit take that no one is talking about right now.
What?
That, like, quarterback play, like, for guys like Stafford and Ryan that get burnt, like these guys that are in these minor leagues, they can't even, facilitate themselves. So I think that's actually a really big deal, considering.
It's hard to find enough to play in the NFL at the level that you need to carry the game.
Right.
Now you're throwing 8 guys in or whatever it is into a league without really enough preparation and don't have the experience. I mean,
none of these guys have played together, I think, is one of the biggest things.
Right. So it's really hard.
I think if it can survive and get to a year or two, I think those teams will be way better because a lot of them are going to come back because they're not going to get another shot, or they'll make a camp, but then they'll get cut and then they'll be back.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Did you see McCloyne?
Oh,
His interview at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they asked him, "What do you have to do?"
Oh,
with the New York game? Yeah.
And
he said, "Yeah, change everything."
Yeah, all of it.
It was refreshingly honest. Like I really,
we got to change the whole game plan. I was like, "Oh, this is good."
Yeah.
And I wasn't even like, I think we were so locked into booking at that time that the sound is just subconsciously hitting you, and it's going to halftime. We're all talking about what we're going to put up, and my man's like, "Oh yeah, we gotta just change the whole game plan." And I'm like, let's just book towards the defenders. I think would probably be the move here, and not the Guardians were kind of, it was a brutal mistake, but yeah, I thought it was pretty hilarious.
Do you have any look aheads here for week 3? I mean, you guys have numbers up. Houston -6, 46 is a total. Renegades -4 at Seattle, both road favorites there. 43.5. The totals are coming down, obviously.
Sure. Yeah. I think it'll get caught like the AAF did, though, where we'll be too low eventually, and then they'll fly over.
Right, like the last game
once
did.
the offenses get that rhythm.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, the great example of what you guys are talking about and how bad the league is, the Dragons' first half of that game is maybe the worst half of football I've ever seen in my life because not only did the offense make consistent mistakes, missing guys, they had guys wide open for touchdowns and 30-yard games, and the quarterbacks just missed them. And so the second half was way better and way more entertaining, but the defenses essentially just took over that game, scoring points for themselves, which I thought was pretty funny.
Brandon Silvers, he fooled me.
Yeah.
Within the first 3 minutes of the first game of the season, I was like, "Oh, this guy's a god." Next thing I know, he's throwing for 5 for 12 for 11 yards in the first half. I'm like, if AB remembers for sure, at that moment, then I thought you were going to scold me for that.
Nah, that's fine. He's probably one of, sadly, the better quarterbacks in the league.
It's pretty bad.
It's just their head coach is horrible.
Oh,
Jim Zorn's the worst.
He's not even a good interview either.
Did you hear he didn't know they were broadcasting the plays?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, incredible. Yeah.
Wow.
He's brutal, man. He's the worst coach in the league.
He's dialed in to what he's doing. Right into his
dialed
thing.
Back into 1999.
It's not
really
bad.
Feels like it.
It's not bad.
I give him credit for doing the interviews. I give him credit for the innovations, things like that. The not knowing when to go for 1 or 2 or 3 and all. Nobody knows.
I don't think anyone. That's what it seems to be. Yeah.
No.
But I kind of like that.
Yeah,
that's
it's
you
great.
know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think a lot of aspects of the game, the rules and things will be good. Quality of play has to get better. I know from the book standpoint, we just don't see many bets on it. We've taken the approach, though, we're not putting the lines up until Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
So we just wait because there's not that much interest, but the numbers the first couple weeks really moved, and you just don't want to be in that position.
Sure. Yeah, I get it.
I don't know. That's our XFL talk. Unless you guys have anything else to add, we're going to move on to the NBA. the All-Star game. I know you were watching it.
Yeah.
You were tweeting about it. Were you watching it live?
No.
Okay.
Wait, then. Okay, continue.
I
We're
was
gonna get to this
watching it
here.
live the second half.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this. I'm for anything that increases the give a shit level. And they gave a shit in that fourth quarter. They were playing like it was not an NBA championship. They were playing like they were out on a playground, and nobody wanted to lose. It was just it was very entertaining.
No, yeah, I mean, I guess the intensity was a a big deal, but yeah, just like the pickup game style, no commercials.
Yeah,
You know what
no
I mean?
clock.
Like no clock. I mean, these guys were like getting after it. So, I mean, nothing seemed fake. It seemed all genuine and like
Kyle
just like
Lowry taking charges.
oh my god.
I don't know. I mean, it didn't seem fake, but I was like,
It was all
wow, is
real.
he really doing
Well, that
this?
was well, that's what I was gonna get into. Like when we were texting each other at that time, when we were like, "Wow, this is actually a better idea." Because I didn't know how the idea was gonna end up. When they changed it, I was like, "Is it gonna be good?" Or, it just happened so quickly. But I mean, yeah, the players kind of bought into it, and just it being a close game made it a better deal for everyone to watch. And then as soon as we're like, "Oh yeah, this is incredible," I didn't know it was gonna end up like this. And Alan's hitting us with rigged like every other time that we're hitting texting each other in the group chat. So I'm like, what does that mean? What's rigged? I don't know what's rigged. Like Giannis not getting the ball, like the refs obviously in on it. I was like, man, he has to tell me. And he did not tell me. So
He
heard
just
me.
leaves it out there.
I was just salty.
About what? About
Because
Giannis
I had a
not
bet.
winning?
I had under. I was mad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I was like,
brutal.
of course, Giannis' team is going to be the one that's up because now they're going to let LeBron and them back in the game and they're going to win. And,
Yeah.
and it's going to be almost tied at the end. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
No, that's
And
exactly what
how it
happened. Yeah,
played
that's
out.
exactly
that's
what
why I was
happened.
like, this is rigged.
And I think
This is garbage.
AD winning on that free throw was kind of brutal. I don't know, kind of a rough
How
ending.
it shouldn't have ended on a free throw.
Oh, man. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, but
How long can you challenge plays in the NBA, or was that just the All-Star game? I've
No,
never
you
s-
can challenge plays.
Yeah.
Nobody does it. Nobody does it.
There's
They might do
four
it now.
challenges in the last like
They
2
do it-
minutes.
They do it a little bit. If
It's
it's
rare.
Usually it's like to get like the third foul early on a star player and things like that.
Oh man, that's
It's not how it was designed.
at least they didn't go to commercial.
Could you guys see that working ever in the regular season, where either because there's talk of like they want to have a play-in game or something, like the NBA was onto something, changing it. It made the All-Star game one of the few in the last 20 years watchable.
I think that's the box though, like just an all-star game.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they play when the games really matter, the defense and all that stuff.
Oh, the
shows
playoffs,
up.
everything. Yeah, it's different.
so-
But how do you recreate that intensity level or give a shit level in the regular season?
You can't. There's
You
too many
can't.
games,
There's just too many games.
and they're not getting rid of them because of the amount of money that they make off 41 home games a year. So I that's why I'm a big believer in trying to trim the regular season games down and then create like these tournaments or like other things for them to do during the regular season that actually be entertaining to where the team might actually care.
Right.
But who knows?
I mean, it was charity money. It wasn't even like their own
Yeah,
financial
they didn't play
interest.
they didn't play no defense for three quarters
oh,
for the
no.
charity
Did not
money.
care.
They didn't.
Man, I was
They
mad.
Did not care. Did not care one
So
bit.
salty.
Kids were sweating.
The
They had the kids
total
sweating out
went
there.
from 301 or 301 and a half, wherever you opened, to 308.
Yeah,
They
308.
only went over
308
by
was like the ceiling
12
of
of the
that.
original number, and they scored almost as many points as they possibly could have in the fourth quarter. It
Yes.
was absolutely brutal.
Yeah. So
No, that's absolutely true.
it was just one of those games like, we were sitting in the book just taking over. Move it. Just kept moving. It didn't matter. Couldn't interest anyone on the under until you got to the highest point. You had to be 308 and a half when everyone else was 308 or 307 and a half.
Yep.
Got an under bet. But I think the majority of the people that watched the game enjoyed it. I think they won their bets. And I think it sets up for a very interesting going forward. I mean, like a lot of things happened at the end of that game. Like, nobody subbed. It was weird.
I thought that was actually a better idea.
It was, but at some point, Team Giannis needed somebody to score.
Oh yeah, that's
Giannis needs the GM revoked. You shouldn't be allowed to draft a team again. Because if you're going to draft 5 defenders and don't play defense, I don't know what you're doing.
When you got Lowry taking like the biggest shots in the fourth quarter, like that's probably not the best idea. So I mean, that happened about 3 times, and I'm like, yeah, don't do that again. And they did it again.
Rigged.
I don't know.
Then it's on Giannis. Giannis is the one that rigged it.
I don't know if
I
you
hate
guys
him.
saw some of the video. I mean, but there was some it was jailhouse rules. I mean, there were some elbows. There were some little. I mean, it got physical at the end.
Yeah.
But
a bunch of bullies.
My takeaway was, why didn't Giannis just take the ball?
And
I saw this last year in the playoffs where he didn't just take control at the
He's
end
thinking
of the
about
game.
the finals.
He better
Oh,
be.
my God.
But somebody just be that guy. You just wanted somebody on his team to go, and they kept throwing it to Lowry or
man.
Kemba kept shooting from half court.
Yeah.
just
Well,
somebody
Kyle, I mean, Lowry's like kind of flying through the lane, putting up jumpers. I'm like, that's just not good. Like, none of that's good. Can't be. And obviously they lost, so yeah, it was not good.
Before we move on here, I just want to welcome HB. Sat down. What's up, Howard?
Good morning, fellas. How
There
are
he
you?
is. Good.
Yep.
He's here, managing editor of Gaming Today at Gaming Today News on Twitter. Our horse racing expert. Follow his picks. He's been hot, giving out exotics, win places, all kinds of stuff. Real quick, AB's predictions from the 1022 show with Cabby. I'm going to run them down real quick. Eastern Conference.
Heavy alcohol.
I love it.
No, actually, I mean, like,
Wait, what is that? Wait.
here's the order of predictions of the Eastern Conference finish, 1 through 8. Philly, Milwaukee, Orlando, Celtics, Pacers, Brooklyn, Toronto, Atlanta. Cabby was hilarious. He's like, you got the 6. He's like, what the hell? He was so mad.
Yeah.
But I mean, the only one there, obviously, Orlando's still probably going to make the playoffs. They're in the 8th spot now.
Yeah.
Atlanta stinks, but you called it. You said they're going to score more points than anybody. They just don't play any defense. They still haven't played defense.
They lost Collins for 20 games to start the year. And I think it was like 34 games in or something like that. Their top 3 players had only played, I think it was like 70 minutes together.
Yeah, like 3 games or something.
So, I mean,
it was it.
It's like having star players hurt or out.
Yeah.
They weren't deep enough for that. So, happens.
Yeah, Trey can't do it by himself.
No.
But, Philly's been the disappointment
Definitely.
so far.
Can't win on the road.
They cannot win on the road.
It's really strange.
Yeah.
It's like record-setting stuff.
They're 9-19 on the road.
Oh yeah, we talked about this last week.
Yeah,
9-19.
Because I knew the Heat were really good at home. So when he told me that the Sixers had basically the same record, I was like, oh. So I thought we were talking about the Heat. And then it's like, oh, I didn't realize the Sixers were that horrible on the road. I was like, oh, my God.
Simmons. Blame it on Simmons.
The take was on the Hawks. If they don't make the playoffs, you were burning Atlanta to the ground.
Oh, yeah. Booking the flight.
Yeah.
City.
Falcons
Yeah.
first.
Falcons,
At the
Hawks.
time. Yep.
Might go to even the soccer team.
Oh yeah.
All of them.
What about the Dream?
Oh, yeah.
Your Dream's
definitely.
done?
Yeah.
Braves. It's almost baseball.
Used to be
season.
the Thrashers.
Oh,
Yeah, everyone. Everybody owes.
I'll bring the Thrashers back when I'm done.
Mo said LaMelo Ball would be the number 1 pick during that same show.
Still close.
Still close.
Might happen.
It
That's
might
still close.
happen.
Depends
depending
who
on
gets the
who
number 1
gets
pick.
it. Yes.
Him and
But
that
he's
cat,
there. He's
that
top
Edwards
3.
cat.
Yeah,
from
Georgia.
Yeah.
What about Wiseman? Isn't he still going to go number 1?
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
2.
Wiseman.
It's those
Just
are
depends
the
on
3.
the team, right?
Depends on the
Yeah.
team. Yep.
Such a guard-centric league, though. I mean, LaMelo's unreal. That guy's sick, man. He's sick. He's good.
Western Conference predictions from that show. Number 1, Denver Nuggets. 2, 3 were Clippers, Lakers. 4 was Houston. 5, Utah. 6, Portland. 7, Sacramento. 8, Dallas. Emphatically said Golden State is out. Don't worry about their season wins. It's going under.
Bang.
Nailed it.
Lucky,
Bang.
though. That's
Yeah,
lucky.
I mean, him getting
we'll
hurt,
take it,
but
but
it was
yeah.
you were emphatic they weren't making the playoffs. Cabby almost fell out of his chair.
Yeah.
He was like, "What do you mean they're not making the playoffs? They're not making the playoffs.
I think. Do they have the
And
worst record in the league? I think they
They
still
have the worst record in basketball.
do. It's just crazy.
12-43.
Yes.
You also said San Antonio would be
yeah.
out, and
So far.
you kind of agreed, like after you discussed it, and that was, I mean, as of right now, they are out. They are 5 games back of Memphis. Do you think they make the playoffs?
The Spurs?
Yeah.
No.
Zero
Sticking
chance.
with it? No
Zero
chance?
chance.
Okay.
It's tough to go against Pops, but
Yeah.
I just don't think he's got the horses.
Lakers are the 1 seed right now. Denver's 2, Clippers 3, Utah 4, Houston 5. OKC is 6. That's the one team you didn't mention in yours.
Thought to be making trades. Very similar
Yep.
to Toronto. I
Playing
thought there
way
were
above.
2 teams making trades that just started off red hot.
Right.
And rode it.
Do they hang on and make the playoffs? OKC.
Yeah, they will.
Dude, that Shea Alexander kid is unreal.
He's great, yeah.
My God, dude,
Yeah.
he's filthy. That guy's insane.
Presti did a hell of a job, man.
Yeah, just to put that together.
Trading like all those guys,
Yeah.
dumping the Russell Westbrook contract.
Killed it, yeah. I mean, the guard with,
He's got
obviously.
97 first rounders in the next like 100 years.
Yeah. And they're doing good.
Dallas is in the 7th spot. I think they make the playoffs.
Yeah,
And Memphis is in the 8th spot.
might
With
be
Portland
might be
right
your 8.
behind them. Portland is right now they're 4 games back.
Nah, I don't think they'll make it.
Portland, you don't think
I
so?
don't think so, man.
So Memphis is going to make it.
Lillard, once he cooled off a little bit,
Why didn't he play in the All-Star game?
groin.
Oh, my God. I think he just, from the performance.
Load management. He didn't need to play. Let's tie it up. The NBA All-Star Weekend. Did you guys enjoy the 3-point shootout dunk contest? Did you watch it? Do you care?
I only saw part of the dunk contest, but I did see how Dwayne Wade rigged the whole thing.
Oh, he did rig it.
Unreal.
That was for sure rigged.
Can you
Aaron
imagine
Gordon-
taking bets on that?
Aaron Gordon got so screwed.
You think so?
I thought so.
I mean,
I'm
he did
indifferent.
some amazing
The
dunks.
last one over Taco was unbelievable.
Even
Yeah.
the one before that, though, when he did that.
Oh, this
lip
off the
thing.
side.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was crazy.
He gets
just-
he gets punished because he's tall. 1,
Oh.
2, I think they punished him because he didn't get over Taco Fall. Like he got
Right.
over him, but
And
he
he
had to
bumped
push
it.
his
Yeah,
head
it-
down.
yeah,
7
it,
foot
it
fucking
wasn't.
high.
It wasn't aesthetically pleasing. The
Right.
dunk.
So his
That's-
sack
that's
rested
true.
on his head for 0.2 seconds. Big deal.
Yeah. Like he had a duck like an inch, and then they were like, "Yeah, that's a 9. That's not a 10." So I mean,
They
I think-
couldn't
No,
even add
it
up
was
the
a 10
numbers.
until Dwayne Wade was like, "Oh, it's going to be a 9."
Oh yeah,
you
real
guys
quick.
know it's going to be
my
a 10.
my guys over there.
Did you guys see the video I retweeted from Wob?
No, I didn't.
I saw it.
You
Yeah.
saw it, right?
Yeah.
Dude, he literally rigged it.
Wait, he picked up the
he
10
knew what
card.
the scores were going to be because they were talking about making sure they tied.
And did another dunk.
And then
Oh,
either did another
oh,
dunk or
okay.
they would vote
Oh,
on it.
that's-
And
that-
he's taking out the earpiece, smiling as the numbers are coming across because he knew what the scores were going to be. And Scottie Pippen flipped and turned and looked right at Dwayne Wade. It was amazing.
Oh my God.
Thinking about what
I
you
love
said,
it still.
the
I
dunk
still
before
love it.
Taco Fall off the side and then just windmilling that thing, doing a 360 pirouette. All the players came onto the court. They were going
Was
out of their
amazing,
mind.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just leads to the question is, because we got calls all weekend. You're taking bets on the dunk contest? No. There's amateur
We took it in
judges
2
throwing up.
states.
You did?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Did you
there
get a
was,
lot of
no
shit
handle.
for it? Okay.
Yeah, there was
All right.
no handle.
That's the thing. I mean, what you risk when you put it out,
What did
it
Jones
just
go off
leads
at?
to.
What did Jones go off at? Do you know?
I don't remember. I think he was one of the. I think he was maybe the 3rd favorite.
Okay.
I think.
I
Yeah.
don't know. It's all novelty stuff until real
Yeah.
money gets involved. And then you're
Yeah.
like, wait a second. They were fucking around trying to add up the score so then they would have another dunk off.
This is why I say I've said on the cast before, I'm very new school about most things. I'm very old school about things where, Dwayne Wade can just know what the other guys are going to score it and then
Yeah,
just
it's
change his number that he told him he was going to give him. Clearly that is rigging an event.
Yeah.
Whether it's fun or not, doesn't matter.
No. It's not fun if you have the other guy.
Exactly. Yeah. If you have Aaron
It's
Gordon, you're
real.
like, wait a minute.
Wait
No,
a
he
second.
stole my money. He
Yeah.
literally just did that.
But
But that's why you shouldn't bet on stuff like that.
The last thing I'll say on it, did you see the post interview of the skills challenge where the guy said, for those of you in Vegas who bet on me, good for you, because
Oh,
I heard
yeah,
I had
yeah.
the lowest odds or whatever.
Yeah.
If it starts to really infiltrate into the actual post-game interviews and shit, it's already jumping the shark, like all
Yeah.
this betting talk and all these things.
Why did you shoot the 3 at the end? Well, I had a cover for the homies.
Yeah.
I don't wanna
It was a
hear
big
that
deal.
shit.
Yeah, we had a side bet in the locker room.
Yeah.
We need to get inside the number.
Don't want to hear that.
We got to get
Dude
inside.
just catches it with 3 minutes left and is just hauling
Oh,
down court and
dude.
lets one go to cover it. Plus 11. Bang.
Yeah, it's easy. No, that was easy.
Oh,
That
one of my
easy
boys
work.
was there last week, and he put it in on his app.
That's it.
Please.
That's all there is.
We don't need to see that or hear
Oh,
that.
man.
Before we move on, I just want to mention the Digital Gaming Today subscription is only $6.95 a month. You get award-winning content, analysis, stats, picks, casino industry news, and more. A Dawn Best feed with real-time lines and scores from 6 Vegas sportsbooks, links to casino deals and sportsbook app signups. You even get the Gaming Today newspaper in digital form. Just go to gamingtoday.com/register. Carp was in earlier. He's got a lot of stuff planned here, I guess, for this week's issue. One of them, obviously, is college basketball, which we're going to do right now, Mo. On your shift, apparently, did a little prep work.
A little bit. Yeah.
I just want to say the first person that I heard say that San Diego State was never going to lose was you.
Yeah. Well,
At 14-0 or 15-0. And
But he
They have
said that
3
about
games
Delaware
left.
at 8-0.
I did. Man, they
We
really
love you.
they really did a number on me on
San
Saturday.
Diego State has 3 games left before their
I feel like I've said that about
conference.
40 teams actually. So yeah, it would. Yeah, go ahead.
UNLV home, Colorado State home, at Nevada. Are they losing one of those 3 games?
They got to lose to UNLV. Why not?
You think?
No way. It's no goddamn
I was
way,
gonna
man.
say that's
No.
smoking hot take right there. Are you kidding me? All right. Well, I don't think they're going to lose either. I think they're going to be a 1 seed.
Man,
They're gonna win.
Stations had that. If they were gonna go undefeated, like I don't know, what was it, a month ago?
They had it up?
Yeah, they had it up. I think it was like at highest 6-1.
Wow.
I'm assuming or something like that. But I mean, they're damn near the favorite now for sure.
I
man,
know.
without question.
Yep, with those 3 games. Real quick, Penn State. Can they win the Big Ten?
Yes.
I think they can.
They are Maryland.
Yeah, I like
It's-
Maryland.
it's-
Maryland's my favorite.
Maryland's coming on.
Maryland's
Yeah.
my favorite team in the Big Ten.
Okay.
I mean, this is like I wish I would have said it. Obviously, they're on fire right now, but I think they're really good.
And you see a senior coming back who's a leader and a point guard in Cowan.
Yeah, that's
It's a
my
big
guy.
deal.
Yeah, guard play, March. It's all the same. Never ends.
Never
That's real,
ends.
man.
All right. I have real quick numbers for each conference.
Yep.
For teams to get in the tournament.
Yep.
Big Ten. 10 teams, over or under?
Oh, man.
10 teams in the Big Ten, Mo.
Yeah, no,
Are we getting double digits or more of this Big Ten conference?
I think it's going to be a push.
You think it's going to be 10?
I think 10 on the dot seems fine.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
HB, what do you think?
I'd say 9.
Okay.
Just to
Yeah.
Howard 9.
Yeah.
Pac-12. 6 teams from this shit Pac-12. Oh, are we going to get 6 teams in the tournament? Can you believe that?
No way in the world.
I mean, I put it in a rundown like, really?
Yeah.
But that's the number when you look at bracketology and Lenardi and everything that he's doing, and you look at Ken Palm. I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
Can they get 12? Can they get 6 teams in?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
go
it's-
under?
It's gonna.
Yes.
It's gonna be.
There's
under.
too much of a
Under?
cluster,
Under?
Yeah.
and they're going to beat each other up in the tournament.
That's the only. Well, it's just one of those teams. If they like, if a Stanford can make a run, that could put it over. I think 4 would probably be the number.
I agree.
5 or it's did you say-
Colorado, Arizona, Oregon State? Those 4?
ASU.
Yeah, no, it'd be
ASU,
yeah, it'd be-
maybe.
Yeah, Oregon, Arizona, Colorado, Arizona State, USC, Stanford. Those are like the teams that.
USC, Stanford, both.
Those are the other teams.
Stanford's going in the wrong direction right
yeah,
now.
they're playing really bad.
Yeah.
I think that's the odd team out because somehow they're still in Lunardi's bracket.
yeah.
But I don't think they have
SC
enough
can make
horses.
a run. They could be the one that make the run.
That's what I think. Watch for you. UCLA is going to do something here in this tournament. I'm telling you right now. It's gonna be ridiculous. I feel it. Not in the NCAA tournament, the Pac-12 tournament.
Their guard play. You talk about guard play. It's not great.
But I mean, like under Cronin, it seems like they're kind of buckling down and playing tougher. That's what I like to see. But yeah, with the guard, it's not as effective.
Big East, 6.
Do you have anything, Alan, or?
No, leave Allen alone.
Oh, yeah,
He's
my
working
bad.
on the boxing. We're coming
yeah,
up on
that's right.
boxing. He's working on the boxing.
I thought he was going to talk about the Sun Belt.
I thought he'd like it.
Big East, Bo. 6. 6.
Man, I think
Seton
what are we
Hall,
what are we
Creighton,
talking about?
Villanova.
nothing.
Lean
Oh,
back.
all
in
right.
the chair.
0.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, I'll be back.
I thought over
You thought over?
could be a possibility. I like the Big East personally.
Seton Hall, Creighton, Villanova, Marquette, Butler, all in the top 25, all making it.
Yeah.
Those are 5. Then you got Providence, Xavier,
and
Georgetown.
Yeah, I think Georgetown's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
How
don't
did
have
he
a,
win over the weekend.
Yeah, I don't
That
have
was a big win.
huge.
But
Yeah,
they got to do something in the tournament to
That's
make it.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like considering that it's like people are going to get beat up in their other tournaments that are on the bubble. I think if like a Georgetown can at least get 2 quality wins against, I mean these teams are pretty good in the Big East.
Yeah.
They can knock out one of these teams and play in a play-in game. I like the Big East personally. That's
Agree.
just kind of how I
Yeah.
feel.
Agree.
Wow. All right.
Even a Creighton was better at the beginning of the year. They've kind of sagged.
Yeah.
But they could still turn it around.
I think so too. I think Creighton is in for sure. I think I like Creighton. Creighton's
Yeah.
all right.
Well, I think they get 5.
Yeah,
I just don't think they get 6.
somehow they're gonna make a push here.
Big 12, 5 is the number that I got.
There's just no way it can go over 5. Or that's a push for sure. I don't know any
Baylor,
other teams.
Kansas, Texas Tech,
Yeah.
West Virginia,
Oklahoma?
and Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's.
I think it's 4. I think it's a have and have not conference.
You don't think Oklahoma gets in?
I don't know. That's the team that I think may not. I
They
mean,
lose
the other
first round of
the
Big
other
12
4,
tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely a bubble team right now, but I for the most part, they're one of the better teams not in the country, but like within the upper tier of.
Signature
The
win
rankings.
tonight at home against Baylor.
Yeah.
The line's 3.5.
See, they played them pretty well last time, man.
Baylor minus 3.5 in Norman.
Let me
Like
take a
it?
quote from Motoi Pearson. Baylor fucking covers every game.
They're gonna win by
They
6
really fucking
or
do.
7. Those are the only points it lands on, 6
I
or
mean,
7.
How many times do you have to bet against Baylor to go, fuck it, I'm done?
I don't know. I guess
You're eating a lot of ramen.
people are still betting
Oh.
against San Diego State, which is crazy.
Every day.
I keep
not
seeing
Sunday.
it.
Sunday we took nothing but San Diego State.
Oh, really?
Oh, until I had to go to 6. I was watching the numbers. I had to go to 6 to finally get a bet.
This is like on Twitter. I just kept seeing people saying like, I think 5.5 looks good here with Boise.
I
I'm
know.
like, where? How? I don't think they led at any point in that game.
No, they did
Were you
not.
guys watching it the whole time?
Oh, I had it on. Yeah. I
Of
was like,
course,
yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, I was doing the in-game and the whole thing, and I was like, they're legit.
Yeah.
They can win the whole thing.
Yeah. I think they're really good.
Nobody thinks so. They can win the whole thing.
Lindy hates them.
Everybody hates them.
Oh my God. I don't know why.
Oh, because of the conference.
Yeah, that's right. The Mountain
That's
West.
just simple.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Same thing with Gonzaga. you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if St. Mary's somehow beats Gonzaga in the West Coast Conference tournament, that takes it away from a team.
Yeah, it takes somebody out. SEC 4. SEC 4. I mean, Kentucky, Auburn, LSU, and then what? Does Florida?
South Carolina?
Yeah, I like South Carolina.
Mississippi
They're
State?
starting to make a move.
South Carolina's had a few big wins.
Yeah, down the stretch. I think they've won their last 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 6. Mississippi State, I think, is pretty good.
I'd rather have an upcoming mid-major than one of those teams myself.
Oh, man, not even.
I
No,
don't know.
Bama's. There's no chance. Like Bama has some decent wins, but I can't see them in. Somehow Mississippi State, I think, is still possible, and a lot of people think Arkansas is still good, but they're missing their best player,
Yeah.
Isaiah Joe.
They got 16
No way.
regular season wins.
That's the guy from Nevada,
Yeah, Musselman,
Musselman. Yeah,
the only person I
4 and-
liked from Nevada.
4-8 in conference. 4-8. I don't know. They get again. It's just going to come down to their actual postseason time.
Correct. Yeah.
Last one, ACC. ACC
nauseating.
Oh my God.
4.
Worthless.
4 boys.
That's the first thing I've heard of agreed with.
Nauseating. 4.
I do like the word.
Go back
Last
to working
one.
on UEFA.
It's Duke,
It's a big day
Louisville,
today.
and Florida State. Those are the 3. Do they get 1 or 2 more in between Virginia, North Carolina State, Syracuse, Notre Dame?
Virginia
Yeah.
on credibility.
Me too. Yeah, I think NC State's got the upside, and they have a couple decent wins, but Virginia somehow is going to get there, and they're going to.
Committee likes the coach.
Yeah,
Bennett, he's got
returning
good- his
champ
hair,
and
he's
all
got
that
nice
shit.
hair.
He's got
Yeah.
nice hair.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice suits.
Nice suits.
Yeah.
He wants to be. What's my guy's name?
They can't score.
Villanova.
Jay.
Yeah.
Jay.
Yeah,
Jay
Jay.
Wright.
Yeah.
He wants to
Jay
be
Wright.
right bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. I'm telling you that right now. He wants to be Jay Wright.
Brioni suits.
That's it. At least he's got a national championship.
Jay's
He's
living
right there.
pretty good. Jay
Oh,
got nice
man.
suits. He got nice hair. He
He's
got,
living. He's living well.
got a good squad
Getting
too.
some decent recruits.
Yep.
You and I admire hair.
Oh, I've admired it now for years. I used to have it. I don't have it anymore, and I admire it more. Absolutely.
That was for Reynolds.
That's going to do it for the college basketball talk. Unless you want the floor for Iona, you got we ran 4 minutes over.
Beautiful.
God damn.
I'm gonna save it for at some point.
Iona.
Berg had the over.
This is a team like from last year for the Metro Atlantic Conference. But yeah, no, they're on a 4-game winning streak now. If anybody's listening, I've seen this happen last year. If you want to bet for a team to win their actual conference, I think Iona is going to steamroll through it once again. That's just my 2 cents on it.
Okay.
I might change my mind in a day though, so yeah. Make sure you follow at Heed These Takes because I
What's
could
that
do
conference
that.
called?
The Metro,
Athletic.
No, Atlantic Athletic Conference.
That's Siena and all those.
Correct. Yeah.
MAAC.
Yeah.
MAAC.
That's it.
opposed
Mac.
to-
That's
yeah.
like a sheep.
Prolonged
Okay.
A's.
As
All right.
opposed to the Maction.
Correct. Oh yeah, man. Jeez.
Talk about action. Let's get to it. AB, can we dial you back in here for a couple minutes?
Yes.
Fury Wilder.
Can't wait.
I just rewatched the first fight this week.
Mm-hmm.
How in the hell did he get up?
No idea. I've been watching this sport since I was like 5 years old, and I've never seen a guy take a 2-punch combination that late in a fight that were so massive by the biggest puncher in the division, and the guy got up. I remember I had
It was movie-like or wrestling-like.
Oh,
it
totally.
It was amazing.
There were Twitter comparisons to The Undertaker when
Right,
he got up.
right,
Like,
saw the video.
where
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
down, he's dead, and then all of a sudden he just sits right up, and everybody's like, oh, my God. Yeah.
It was the perfect punch. The right, I thought, was like
and the left hook
the
behind
left
it
set
was a monster,
was
too.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Was that fight in Vegas?
No, it was
No.
at Staples Center,
Got it.
which is the only reason I had to bet on it, because when I go to fights, I don't bet them. But I had Fury, and when he hit the deck, I went, well, there goes my money, set it in the room, and then he got up, and I'm like, oh, my God, how? How did that happen?
He won the fight after that. Like, he won that round. I mean, he got knocked down and out. I thought he was so active.
Oh, yeah.
And came back.
Yeah.
I can't remember seeing a fighter take that shot like that and get up and take it to the guy.
Yeah.
Like, I just took your best shot.
Yeah.
I'm here, and I'm coming to get you
It
now.
felt like if he had another round. Like,
If he had another round, I think he wins the fight.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy. Like, when the scorecards came out, it's like I try as best I can to score. It's really hard when I'm at work, but when I rewatched it, I came up with the same score. I had it a draw.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. I thought Fury in theory should have won because he won more rounds, but knockdowns are massive.
Are massive,
So,
yeah.
you know, I didn't think the scores were bad. I think they were fair. Thankfully, we get to see it again, and
it's here.
it's now in Vegas. Yeah.
I think it's just going to be electric, and I'm very much looking forward to it. The line is. Are you surprised by the line?
Not really. I mean, you know, it's like I was talking to my buddy, executive director John Murray of Westgate, who's a big fight guy like
Classic.
I am, and he said, "Yeah, I mean, I kind of like Fury too." Until he's up 10-1 and then gets knocked out. and, you know, it's like that's the thing about Wilder is that he did the same thing in the last fight with Ortiz. He was losing almost every round, and then, boom, put the lights out.
Does he care as far as, like, the fight game goes and stuff, about winning rounds? He's looking to knock the guy out. Like, he doesn't even really – I mean, I kind of went back and did a little research and looked. That's the MO.
That's his style,
That's
for
his
sure.
style.
Yeah, he doesn't really want to win by decision. But
He's not
I-
even that active. Like,
Yeah,
as far as throwing
I didn't
punches.
like the way he looked against Ortiz. I thought he was headhunting and very like, you know, he was fortunate to land it, but I don't think against a guy like Fury you can do that. What I don't like about Fury is that he's talking about knocking him out and all this stuff. There's no reason to step in front of more bombs from this guy.
Yeah.
I get that you feel like you took his best punch, but what if you didn't? You know,
Right.
what if he still has something that's even a little bit stronger? And I think the betting line is kind of reflecting that people still think Wilder has enough to possibly win this thing by KO. I mean, that's the favorite in the props. Fury's the favorite by decision.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It pretty much standard market line is minus 120, minus 125. 10.5 over, minus 140. Like, there could be a knockout, though. It just
Yeah.
seems a little bit pricey for it to say it's going the distance.
I think the dark horse is actually Fury by knockout.
Right.
I
What if
think
he
it's
catches
possible.
him?
Well, I've seen Wilder's been hurt, and I think he was a little bit hurt in the Fury fight. It's just Fury came in with more muscle in this fight coming up, and that may lead to that. But man,
What's those odds?
I think you can get 5-1
On
on
Fury
by
knockout.
knockout.
Which is the longest odds of all the mix.
Yeah, but I mean, Wilder's, he's got a good chin, though. So,
Right.
I don't know, man. It's a really tough fight to call. There's a reason that line's a pick 'em, basically.
Has he ever been knocked down?
I'm trying to think. I was
Wilder?
literally just trying to pull that out of my brain.
Yeah.
I don't
We have
think
to go
so.
back and look. I
He's
don't
been
remember
hurt. Ortiz in the first fight had him hurt bad,
Okay.
where he was ready to go, and the round ran out.
Okay. Got
So
lucky then.
that's the most peril I've ever seen him in. And Fury has that ability, but from more of a boxing sense than I think the one punch traditional power.
Yeah.
But he does have enough pop to hurt Wilder for sure, and maybe even finish him. But it's going to be a multi-punch combination.
Not just a one. Yeah. Not just
he's not
knockdown.
a one-punch guy like Wilder can be.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're covering the fight. You'll
Yep.
be at the weigh-in, and you're going to the fight
That
Saturday.
is the plan.
That's the
yes.
plan?
Yes.
Will you be tweeting it under you?
Gaming Today News.
Under Gaming Today. Okay, at
Yep.
Gaming Today News. Follow that.
He does a
for-
great job. He's credentialed and he's down there, and I'm bragging on him right now.
Yep. No, it's a must follow. If you don't watch the fight, you must follow anyway. But at the time, to get the
And I will
information.
respond
Yeah.
to trolls and critics.
And he'll also have a preview
article.
article in our printed publication on Wednesday and online at gamingtoday.com. So we will have a preview, and you will see who Alan leans toward if you're wagering.
I'm gonna just still call you like I usually do, not knowing that you're still tweeting it,
Yeah,
all the information out that I should.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you anyway.
Yeah.
I don't care. I do it all the time. I do it every time. So, no, dude. I've been 6 rounds. You could read everything that I've tweeted. Call him back, my man. What's happening? What's the deal? What's really going on?
Keep
These
me
are-
posted.
These are
Oh,
facts.
dude,
This
it's
is
incredible.
and it's now like a running joke at this point.
Everyone's like screaming, so you can't hear. It's just insane. It's beautiful, man.
Do you think there'll be a fan favorite in the building? I can't get
I
a
think
feel
Fury,
for it.
man.
You do?
I think because of his story, and I think he'll have some travelers here that are going to watch him.
As good as Ricky Hatton used to have?
No, I don't
Oh,
think it's
man,
to that
Ricky
level.
Hatton.
There's only one
Certain
Ricky
guys
Hatton.
just certain guys just transcend. I really would be curious to hear what the crowd's like if him and Joshua ever fought in England.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd probably be
but-
sick.
But yeah, I think with the fights Fury's had in Vegas, he's had 2 fights against guys he should beat, which he did. I think that makes him kind of the Vegas favorite at this point. I expect them to cheer for him.
I also think it's cool that it goes back to the MGM Grand Garden, the site of all of the great fights. T-Mobile has a hockey game, so that corner is going to be rocking.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Leading into that, I asked the guys, and I'll give you a chance to think about it. Your favorite fight memory of all time, either at a fight, watching it live, watching it on TV, sharing a moment with someone, whatever it is. What is the best fight memory you have personally? I mean, because we're in the business, we like it. You love it. I mean, you've written about
Yeah.
it for years.
I
and
got
stuff
so
like that.
many.
And
I
just,
don't even know which one to tell.
you got one?
I couldn't think of one when we were talking about it. I think the only thought I had of like coming up was the first fight that I ever really when I was a kid, and David Tua was like a family. He wasn't a family favorite, but we were like, wow, this guy is obviously Samoan, and he was fighting
yeah.
Lennox Lewis.
Oh.
This is way back. Obviously.
Right.
I was a kid, man.
Yeah.
He got smoked, man. Tua got crushed. It's all Tuas are bad. No, I'm kidding, but that was like my introduction into boxing and like family being kind of into it, and
Was everybody bummed out?
not really. My
Okay,
dad
all right.
laughed. He knew what
He
was
knew,
happening.
okay.
Yeah, he was like, "There's 0 chance he's going to beat Lennox," but it was just cool. I mean, that kind of like sparked my interest into like the fight game because everyone was there. It was like a big party. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously bigger fights I've seen. I think the Diego and we talk about the Jose Luis
Castillo
Yeah.
and Corrales,
which is like that's
Oh,
probably the
unreal.
greatest thing in the history of whatever I've seen.
Right.
The 10th round there.
Mhm.
But yeah, just that first fight was the funniest. Like, I was a kid. I didn't know what was happening. I just, You know, it was just funny that he lost and no one cared.
Do you have one?
I've got a gazillion, but I'll give you one that's a little bit topical at the moment.
Okay.
We're on the 30th year anniversary of Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson.
Oh,
I was fortunate enough my dad had HBO, and so we watched that fight live from Japan.
In the middle of the night?
No, because they
they
did the
timed it.
broadcast. Yeah, it was
Okay.
it was
late.
It was it was daytime in Tokyo when they
but it was
had
it
here.
was yeah.
Well, it was like the
Prime time.
normal.
Oh,
yeah,
you guys
like
were out
prime
west. It was
time.
late back east. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that.
for
It was
sure.
really
Yeah, I
late
wanna
back
say it
east.
might have
I was
been
in
like
Arizona.
8
Yeah,
yeah.
it was like
8
8 or 9
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It
you know,
was
like right
midnight
around
back
that World
east.
Championship boxing normal time. But yeah, so watch the fight. Obviously, I'm only like 9, but at this point now, I watch like fights every week with my dad. And I remember watching this thing happen, and I'm so used to Tyson just crushing everyone that, you know, I looked at my dad about like 6th round. I go, is Buster Douglas going to win? And he's like, he might. And then, you know, the big moment came.
infamous.
Tyson hit him with the biggest uppercut I still maybe have ever seen in my life. And somehow Douglas got up. I still think his mother somehow picked him
Yeah.
up, who just
Yeah,
died.
Yeah, that's it.
And when he got to his feet, I saw Tyson's face, and I knew he was going to lose.
Yeah.
Because as soon as Douglas got up, he's like, I've hit this guy with everything I've got, and I can't beat him.
It was the first guy that really ever got up.
Yeah.
And again, it's like that old saying about a bully or whatever. Like, he knew.
Yeah.
You're right.
The
now
will-
that I think about it, like, he knew.
The incredible part of it was like Tyson almost needed to lose, and Buster Douglas could have fought nearly anybody in the history of boxing that night, I feel like, and won. Because he was always that guy, as trainers used to say, if he just trained and he worked hard, he could have been the greatest type of athlete, because he just was so good, and his punches were so crisp. He threw so many combinations. And Tyson doesn't get enough credit for that fight, because, I mean, that guy was bringing it to him, and he was taking it for a long time in that fight. His camp wasn't prepared. They didn't have the end swell. They had a rubber glove with water they had to fill up to try to stop the swelling.
Yeah.
It's an incredible story.
Intestinal fortitude.
Yeah.
You got one
Yeah.
HB that you can
Whole
think of?
different level.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 2. We were involved in a business at MGM, and I was at both Tyson Holyfield fights. So
Oh, wow.
the bite was completely bizarre.
Classic.
And we ran out of the
Classic
arena.
bite
And
move.
we actually ran into Emerald's Fish House, and they closed the iron gates there because it was just mayhem in the place. In fact, I remember Donald Trump walking down the hallway of the MGM Grand away
Who's that?
from the arena.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
No
Yeah,
politics.
The Trump.
here. Yeah.
The Donald.
And in the first fight,
But people were pissed. Like, there was it was chaos, but was it anger in the book? I mean, I remember I was offshore. Everybody wanted their money back. The guys.
There was anger everywhere.
It was.
there were blackjack tables that were turned over, and there were some
wow.
NBA players, Dominique Wilkins, and some others that were implicated in that. And in the first fight, Holyfield started at 25-1 and got bet all the way down to 10-1. The MGM got absolutely creamed. I think it cost the sportsbook director his job at the time. They got for millions. Absolutely, you're talking 1995.
Yeah.
So it was
Quite
not,
a- I mean,
it was
it's
not
more,
the way
yeah.
we view millions today.
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So yeah, it was quite interesting.
Since Evander Holyfield made the podcast, I would say he's the most overrated fighter in the history of the heavyweight division.
I love that take. I love that fucking take.
It's amazing how
I don't
much
care what anyone says.
It's amazing how much you can get away with when you headbutt everybody. And if you don't believe me, go watch the Hasim Rahman fight when he had a small child growing on his forehead.
Didn't
He
Michael
did come
Moore beat him?
forward.
Yes.
His nephew is a
Another
running
guy
back
that
for
it could have been
Georgia.
great if he just would have, put the effort in and
But
trained.
then he
harder.
let George
good.
beat him.
He's
Yeah,
good.
And all Teddy Atlas screamed at him was like,
two different
stop
things.
standing in front of him. Stop standing in front of him. And then boom, there he was, out cold. Another amazing fight that I watched with my dad. That was like
I was in the Barbary
insane.
Coast, and I look up, and Bob Arum's hugging George Foreman. I said, "What just happened?"
George Foreman just won the championship. Incredible.
Right.
Lampley's greatest call ever, in my opinion, too. It's awesome.
Real quick before we move on, my favorite fight memory was the Hagler-Hearns fight. It was in 1983.
No,
85.
85. That's right. I have 85. That's a 5. Sorry, I have it written down. I went to see it closed circuit with my dad, and closed circuit at the time meant 2 movie screens on the floor at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, and that was it. I remember got dropped off at work, went with him and the guys from work, and we went in. I was like a big shot. I sat with all these adults, and then the fight started, and holy shit. That was one of the best rounds of boxing ever, the first round. And Hagler came out, and like I thought Hearns was gonna, he was the guy from Detroit. He was cool, and Hagler was, nasty, rough, whatever. And I was kind of rooting for Hearns. And then when he got hit and his legs were doing that thing, and he was running around trying to stay alive, I was like, "Oh, this is incredible! I'm rooting for Hagler." And then he got cut. He had a cut that was his entire forehead, and had to fight through that. The blood was gushing. It was 3 rounds. Hagler won.
Insane.
And like you just go and watch it on YouTube now, and you can't believe the way these guys fought. And that was here at Caesars.
Do you know some of the stories behind that? Hagler broke his hand in the first round.
Hearns did.
I'm sorry, Hearns did.
Hearns broke his hand, yeah.
But Hearns also, for some reason, the day of the fight, had a massage, and the guy massaged his legs like into Jell-O.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't know that.
And his managers didn't even know he had scheduled it.
Oh.
And they're like, "What did you just do? You had a massage on your legs? You can hardly walk."
Wow. He's probably calling it a massage. I don't know. It was probably not.
It was at the
probably
hotel,
more
not
than
on
a
Spring
massage.
A lot of things happening. That was a lot.
Women
right
weaken
there.
legs. Women weaken legs. That's an old saying. But no, I didn't know that. But yeah,
That's right. Hearns broke his hand.
Yeah, that fight was incredible. And again, it's just these things. I hope that this fight this week lives up to just some sort of something, because I think we're starving for it. A little, as boxing fans, and just want it to be something. And I mean, that was years ago. It was 30 years ago. You remember watching it with your dad.
That
you
was
remember
the first fight I ever watched.
Yeah.
And that's why I got hooked on boxing.
That's why I got hooked
Yeah.
on boxing, from Hagler Hearns.
Mhm.
Same thing. And like we all have that. And I think, for you guys listening, even if you're not big boxing fans, there's moments like that you remember that get you. And it got us.
Do you think everybody understands what you meant when you said closed circuit?
No. It was just they plugged in 2 TVs that you could only see there, and you paid money
right.
for the
you
ticket.
couldn't buy it in your home, folks.
No.
So you had to go somewhere and pay $15
Right.
where they beamed it in.
Yeah, it was incredible. All right, let's get to the end here. Baseball. I got to mention it. I mean, everybody's talking about it.
It's like, man, pain.
What the hell?
Where's the garbage?
Oh, wait, are we just talking about the Stros?
hell? Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Did you see what Nick Markakis said?
I did.
Holy smokes, man!
But this is what happens, right?
He's like, I think he's threatening them. He's threatening them.
Manfred had to give the players immunity to get the information. What were you guys doing? You won't get in trouble. Tell us what happened. By doing that, he opened the door for immunity pretty much for everybody to say whatever the fuck they want. So Cody Bellinger started it last week with, it's bullshit. He said what he said. Justin Turner, who's pretty easygoing guy, started talking.
Sean Manea said something too.
Had no fear.
Yeah.
Said what he said.
Yeah. She was right.
A lot of guys are talking. Mike Trout, who doesn't talk to anybody about anything, said, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, and now today, for those of you who haven't seen it, it's all over Twitter, Markakis said it. And Markakis is a guy who has his head down and has been just grinding for years. Baltimore, Atlanta, and probably as a guy who's in a cage all the time. I mean, he works on his craft and hasn't done anything, to Hall of Fame level, but understands the work and the grind and appreciates it. He came out and said, well, they should take a beating? Did you see that?
Everybody on that side should be taking a beating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? I mean, like, it has to go away, but like William Hill put up a prop. 83.5 hit by pitches.
Beautiful.
For the Astros.
That was brilliant. Nice job, Nick.
Are they going to take?
He was talking about it earlier today.
First of all, they're not going to take that many bets on it.
Yep.
It's a great thing to talk about, though, because we're talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. It's all over social media. Under is got to be the lock of the century. They're not. So I went back and looked last 5 years. 56, 47, 70, 61, and 66. That's how many times they got hit by pitches as a team. 83.5 with the microscope on it. Like, you're going to go throw
Guys
at a
are
guy.
going to get tossed immediately.
Immediately.
Well, yeah. Well,
by accident. Even if it's a breaking ball that gets away, you're out. You're getting the warning and you're out.
Are you you're costing your team? Are you
Exactly.
gonna? What are
That's
you
my
doing?
thing.
You're putting guys on base just because of
You get thrown out as a starting pitcher because you're mad that they won the World Series 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Who cares?
maybe once if they're down 18 runs or something.
Yeah, instead of walking a guy, you put it on his hip.
Yeah, then we're coming after him. Yeah, but otherwise, it's.
But I mean, I've seen and we talked about this before off the air. We put up bets to generate interest, not necessarily to win. Call them loss leaders, call them what you want. Hit by pitch, 83.5. The Mets, I think, led the league last year with 104 or something like that. That's a big number, 83.5. It's not going to close that. So if you have access to William Hill app or anyone else that's put it up, I think under has got to be one of the best bets we've ever talked about on this show. I would.
Big statement.
Under 83.5 is way too easy. I'm just telling
I'm
you
not
right now.
betting it.
Bankroll managers.
No.
Yeah, it's done.
It's all
It's happening,
under 83.5 for me. There's no. I mean, they're not getting hit more than 83.5 times.
10
you're still
dimes.
taking this
It's like
down?
10 seasons of the show, in one move. This is for everything. Yeah.
It's it. It's over. There's no way.
Just got a tip from our guy.
Yeah.
He said that offshore's number is lower, 80.5.
Yeah, as it should be, as it will be, as it will continue to be.
Yeah.
So 83.5. I don't know.
It's going to get there.
My favorite thing that's been going on about all this, though, was what you, Darvish, said. Did you hear what he said?
What exactly did he say?
He basically, he, of course, condemned them for doing it, too. But he's like, they need to stop talking. That's the number one. Please, just shut up.
Stop.
If you play for that team and you were on that roster, just stop talking about it.
Yeah.
You're not helping yourselves or your team or anyone by opening your mouths and trying to defend it and all this nonsense.
Correa was looking like a real idiot.
Yeah, get out of here.
Oh, my God.
I've said this for years now. Just because someone puts a microphone in front of your face doesn't mean you have to say anything. Say no comment. Say no thank you. Or I don't have anything. I do it every week with Take a Minute. You guys go, I got nothing.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. You don't have to say anything. It's making it worse. When the owner said what he said.
Oh man, in the same thing. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. How did I not see this?
Dude,
I've seen every single one except that.
You're gonna
one.
love this. So he goes he's in front of the media saying this, right? And he
Okay.
goes, we had a great team. We won the World Series because we have a great team. None of this had any effect on the game.
Oh man.
And then one of the reporters goes, can you explain what you mean by how this had no effect on the game? I didn't say that.
No,
He
my
goes,
right there in that moment.
The follow-up question 45 seconds later,
Yeah.
he said, I didn't say that didn't have an effect on the game. You can just say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Right in
It
front of
just
cameras.
doesn't matter.
And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I actually like that style. That's up my alley.
Hey, the commissioner,
Zero chance I said that.
got ripped for saying that what's the point of taking back the title? It's just a piece of metal.
Stop.
I loved
Yeah,
that. I
You
loved
did?
that. I did because I said the same thing when they took the Heisman away from Reggie Bush. It already happened. Who cares?
still, yeah.
It's
Ron
done. It's
did.
over.
Right.
So
That's
what?
my guy.
Who takes the trophy away? They
Right.
care. They won the World Series. It doesn't matter. It's over.
Ironically, it's called the Commissioner's Trophy.
Reggie didn't cheat. Reggie never cheated.
Yeah, he's got some definitely
just had a nice
clueless
card.
tendencies, but
Did that help him against Fresno State?
no,
Well, he
I
got
think it was
no.
those ankles.
There was still traffic in L.A. in the nice car.
I can't talk about that Heisman shit, man.
There's a lot of guys that won the Heisman that not helping anybody. Not helping
that
them.
was
They
the
can
ro-
take away the trophy. They get.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm like,
it
it
doesn't
already
matter.
happened.
It's-
They had the moment. They celebrated on the field. They have rings. It's over. Move on.
Well, and a lot of guys in baseball are talking about that now.
They should
Where
have.
they
They
just-
should have made it so they couldn't go to the postseason the next 2 years like they did.
I
in
like
Manchester
Something
City.
Yeah,
like
that's-
that.
that's the move. Yeah,
that's the move.
yeah,
like
100%.
that.
Let them
That's-
keep their coach and their whoever.
Yeah,
you
I
guys,
like
you
that.
guys can't play in the playoffs for 2 years.
Yeah.
I
Congratulations.
think, yeah.
Exactly. That would be the actual.
Crushes them
Punishment.
financially.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're not playing for
Who wants to
anything.
buy season tickets
That's
to a
it.
team that can't make the
That's what I'm
playoffs?
talking about, yeah. No, I definitely love that idea.
Before we move on to the last segment here, HB, would you like to put anything out there as far as horse racing and what you got going on or what you're looking at this week or today or anything like that?
The best days for me to play are Thursday through Sunday.
Okay.
That's when the premier tracks are running. It's no secret that horse racing is suffering a lot of ills right now as far as their product and their marketing, and it's unfortunate. But some may say they've made their own bed. I mean, in California at Santa Anita, they only race 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, it used to be 5 and 6.
Is that due to all the horses dying, or?
It's due to partly that there's been a lack of on-track attendance. People don't go as much. They do play on their phones or their computers, but trainers have left. Costs to own horses are very high, and train horses in California. There's a much higher cost for labor.
Yeah.
Like there is with other businesses. So trainers have ventured out into other parts of the country. So as far as I go, right now I'm concentrating on the Kentucky Derby Trail.
Okay.
I'm watching a lot of those prep races, and there's one every weekend. And it's a lot of fun because you can put the jigsaw puzzle together and you can find horses that have the right breeding. Not necessarily how they've raced up to this point, but a lot of times you'll find some breeding nuggets that help as we head towards the Derby.
There you go.
Yeah, Derby's coming.
Derby's coming.
Oh, man. I'm going to be talking about it. I have to.
We'll get closer to that. We'll maybe talk about it.
Sportsbook operators, open a dedicated Derby window for the amateurs. Thank you.
Man.
Oh, yeah. That'll work. Talk about labor costs and everything else. They're going to go, give a guy give a guy a Derby day window. Sure. They laugh at you.
Sportsbooks like the chaos, I think.
No, they do. But like everything else, like you just said,
Logistics.
I mean, it's labor costs. Everyone's doing everything on their phone. Nobody gives a shit anymore.
Yeah.
They'd rather just stay at home watching on TV than get with the crowd, where the crowd sometimes is fun.
Yeah.
You know,
I like the
it's
crowd.
sometimes it is. So, all right. Anyone got to take a minute? I'll ask for volunteers. Anyone? You got one?
I do.
Oh, excellent.
Yep.
Lead us off.
It maybe take less than a minute, which
That's
will
even
make
better.
Reynolds happy.
Okay. Ready, set, go.
This is going to sound like an advertorial. And full disclosure, this is one of our advertising partners at Gaming Today. But what our friends down at Circa Sportsbooks are doing with the futures and the theoretical holds on events like NASCAR and golf and some of the plays that you can make where there's a future bet. Matt Metcalf, kudos, brother. You're doing a great job. A golf participant at other sports books is 15, 18 to 1, and at your place it's 30. It's great for the player. Good work.
It's insane. I love it, but it is absolutely incredible. Yeah.
I did a show yesterday on VSiN and talked about the exact same thing. So, you're in the room, you see it.
Yeah.
I mean, we see it too, from just, looking to make plays or other people talking about it in the business. It's cool to see. And as long as Derek and the fellas have a stomach for it.
Yeah. Oh, it's. I mean that seeing some of those bets come in, and obviously they're parlayable as well. So I mean, there's like a lot of things going on. And for us to have, not to rest on a decision, but to see everyone have fun doing it, I think that's what the point is.
And I know that sounded like a shameless plug, but I really mean it. I mean, it's great for the players.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. Like people that are like understanding betting, like what we've been talking about people that don't know it really as much. When they can see on a social media type of deal where they're getting way better odds, this is stuff that's going to open up stuff for, Circa for days to come.
Yep. You got anything?
Yeah.
You do?
I just wanted to to talk about it now.
Go.
The Wingstop on Flamingo in Maryland.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a big deal, man. So I remember just talking about the Derek Jones thing in the room, and it was after the Southern Utah game, and him and Patrick McCaw came in after the game they played in.
Okay.
And they were like eating like kind of, near us. So me and like a bunch of buddies were, talking to Derek Jones, and there's like a joke that we have about one of my buddies asking Derek Jones if he was going to stay. He's like, yeah, man, I love Vegas. Gone within the year. But he's done well for himself. Obviously, Patrick McCaw, 3-time champion. And then we met Kawhi, which I've probably said on the show a couple times, but I didn't realize that within Derek Jones winning that championship and then Kawhi winning the MVP, the tweet was just much better. I didn't get it out in time.
Yep.
But yeah, that Wingstop on Flamingo in Maryland, it breeds champions. So anybody that's ever been there, you should go and really figure it out.
Lemon pepper.
Can't wait for you to get your title, whatever it is.
Yeah, something. Yeah, whenever that happens, I'll let you know. Yeah.
AB, anything?
Watch the fight.
Watch the fight. 3 words, 3 seconds, out. Excellent. All right, I'm going to go right now. So, just to interject some hockey, this week the Knights are hosting the Tampa Bay Lightning, who come into Vegas on an 11-game winning streak. I had the pleasure of going to the game, first one of the season, Saturday night against the Islanders.
Oh, it was a big one.
A good game. Yeah, it was a good game. 1-0.
Yeah.
Fleury looked good. Team played well. Islanders are down a little bit. Anyhow, the Lightning are obviously 60 games into the season. They've been a dog 4 times all year. At Boston in October, they won. At Washington, Thanksgiving, they lost. In January, they were at Carolina. They won. And at Pittsburgh in February, they won. 60 games, they've been dogs 4 times. They're going to be dogs on Thursday night. Take a look at the game. I think the Lightning will be the play, but the Knights are playing great. If you want to watch a good hockey game and maybe a Stanley Cup preview, it's Thursday night. I'm saying the line is going to be Knights minus 115.
Did you say it's going to be a Stanley Cup preview?
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very much so. So just wanted to put that out there. It's very possible.
That's a bold call.
Knights Lightning.
Oh.
Knights lost at Tampa back in February, beginning of the month, 4-2.
Fleury didn't play, did he?
In Tampa?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think he did.
I have to look. Anyhow, that's it. Just wanted to put that one out there. Let's wrap this thing up. Time is good. Everyone on the way out, you got anything for the fellas?
UNLV Colorado tonight. I might be there.
Yeah?
I'm going to take it to the next level.
Colorado State,
Yeah, Colorado State, my bad.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
Correction.
Yeah.
not the Buffaloes.
UNLV a 1-point favorite?
Yeah, I think, is it 1.5 now?
1.5, yeah. Like them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
UNLV?
Yeah.
All right. Mo will be at the game at Heed These Takes. AB, anything on the way out for watch the fight? Friday's the weigh-in?
Yep.
Okay. We'll see. Follow you along on Twitter at %Berg all the time except fight night
Fight night at Gaming Today News.
at Gaming Today News.
Still following
round by round.
both.
Yeah.
Combo.
Yep. HB?
Hate to break my arm. 13-1 in the weekend for winners.
Holy shit.
Easy. Just
My
easy.
God.
GamingToday.com/register or pick up a printed copy. You can see the 2 plays for this week. It's been fun. Won't last forever. Haters, come on. Bring it on.
Real quick, we always talk about the Gaming Today digital subscription, yet we should also mention how it all got started. The Vintage Gaming Today print edition can be found in virtually every sportsbook in Nevada, as well as sportsbooks and casinos in 9 other states. Illinois is coming on board. If you're listening in Illinois, which you are, because we see where you're listening from in Chicago, get in touch, with support at gamingtoday.com, because you can get the paper from Oregon to Pennsylvania. It's Gaming Today in vintage print form, and you get award-winning content there, analysis, stats, selections, gaming industry news, casino news, and more. You got to get the paper. If you have a book, it's got to be in there. So just another resource for people to read, and there's a lot of good information in there, including like columns like Allen Fight, Howard's Picks, Carp, and the rest of the crew. So a lot of good things happening there. And that's going to do it. We are through. Oh, man. Is this our last show in February? No, we got one more.
I think we have one more.
Yeah, we got one more in February. But we've been grinding it out. We appreciate you guys listening. Please go on. Give us a review. At least hit the 5-star rating if you like the show. If you don't, hit the 1-star review. Either way, go on and hit it. The show is available anywhere you find podcasts. Apparently, Apple Podcasts is the most popular, but Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Buzzsprout, it's all there. We'll tweet out the links. For Reynolds, who I did not mention, I am Reynolds 2305. He's there. AB is at %Berg. Mo is at Heed These Takes. Howard is at Gaming Today News. I am Big Dave at Sports BK Consig. Again, the show is at GT Cash Consider. Thank you. Out.